Hey guys, it's Court. I want to talk to you guys about a little journey I decided to take. All of you that know me know I've struggled with weight most of my life. I have dieted, I have tried to lose the weight, I have exercised, and I have failed at all of those. So I said, hey, you know what? It's time. I need some help. So weight loss surgery was the way to go. Unfortunately, my insurance plan excludes bariatric surgery. Crappy. So I had to decide to privately pay for it. There's obviously clinics in the States that you can pay for, that the price tag is pretty significant. So I started research in Mexico. Mexico's prices were like half the price that I would pay here, if not more. And so I researched a clinic, talked to people that had been there from here to other states to all over, and decided on a clinic in Tijuana, Mexico. Went there, had my surgery. Take a look at my journey. So on this morning, my flight left about 8:40. It was raining, so I was really nervous. My brother-in-law took us to the airport, and I was praying that the rain would stop because, guys, I haven't flown in like 15 years. My last flight was with my grandma, God rest her soul. And so I was crazy nervous about flying. I don't know why. I flew a lot as a kid, but as an adult, this was my second time. So, very nervous. But we're walking through Will Rogers, so it's obviously with COVID, there's not much going on. TSA was pretty much a breeze. Got through that real quick. Then we sat down and waited on boarding, and there was this guy there that didn't have a mask on. And like, for those of you who know, I work in a retirement home, so like we've been on masks for a minute. So he didn't have a mask on, and that was pissing me off because he started coughing, and I was like, oh no, we're moving. So we got up, moved, and then next thing I know, we're on the plane. Guess who's sitting behind us? Dude with no mask. Now he has a mask on, but I didn't hear the coughing, so I think I was just a little freaked out. But we landed. Our flight was from Oklahoma City to Phoenix. I was nervous. So my first plane ride was a success. I was very nervous, but we made it. And we landed in Phoenix, and I had about an hour layover to board my flight to San Diego. We walked around. I mean, I just was a ball of nerves, and I was so hungry, y'all. I had been on a liquid diet for 2 weeks, so at this point, I was really starving because this last few days, I really, had to hit it hard. And so no water because I was having surgery the same day I flew in. So no water, no nothing, MPO. So your girl was starving.
Nothing I was eating over there. Huh? The little hand.
So we landed in San Diego. It's my first time in California. So I thought that was pretty cool. Once we got our luggage and headed outside to wait for the driver to pick us up, San Diego was so chilly. Like, I was shocked. Like, it felt good. I was not expecting that. I don't know why. I thought it'd be a lot warmer, but the wind was just nice. I loved every bit of it. So our driver arrived probably about 20 minutes after we got our luggage. I had a chat with my kids and kind of showed them the airport and where I was at. And then once the driver got there, there was a couple other patients that were going for surgery that day as well. So I met a nice girl from Memphis and her cousin, and then another couple that was from some town in Texas close to Louisiana, but they were really nice. So we drove through the border. That was a breeze going into Mexico. And then I just kind of looked around and saw the different sites and saw how much things were so different, but it was so intriguing to see, how just maybe 20 miles of driving from San Diego to Tijuana, how much a difference there was. So once we arrived at Pompey Surgical, we pulled up in the garage and they asked us to keep our luggage in the car so that they could sanitize everything, which I thought was important. And then we had to sanitize our shoes, and then temperature checks, sanitizer again, and then I started labs, and then the process was on the way. So at this point, the surgical tech had to come in and talk to me about the process and how long the surgery would take. He talked to Marcus and kind of told him the same. And then he brought my gown and all the things that I needed to put on before surgery and took my picture. So I'm here at Pompey Surgical to get my gastric sleeve. I've had my labs, my weight, my height done, my IV put in. I met with one of the surgeons, and hopefully I will be going back for surgery pretty soon. I am excited, but extremely nervous, but I'm sure my nerves will calm, obviously, when I get that anesthesia. But here's to new life. See you on the flip side.
Makeup? Let's do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Love you.
She will be back maybe. The surgery will be long, like 1 hour.
Okay.
It's around 1 hour, but she will be stay more time in the recovery area,
Yes.
Because we need to be back
Okay.
without anesthesia.
All right. Love you, babe. Bye.
So this is me walking around the next day. I don't take to anesthesia very well, so I was extremely doped up and could barely walk, but I needed to walk. So I tried my best, but my eyes were shutting. This was the angle from the surgery center at the rooftop deck where I was walking around at. It was a really nice day. Really nice day. So I don't have any footage, but we did actually go to the hospital for the barium swallow, doing the leak test. So I did good there. But here I'm waiting to get on the bus to go to the beach house for recovery. So now we're on the bus, driving to the beach house, which I think was about 30 minutes away. So we just kind of took it in, enjoyed the scenery. At this point, I was a little sore. Like I said, I was pretty doped up on the anesthesia, so I hadn't done enough walking. But so this was kind of the more activity that I had done, and driving on the bus, I will say it wasn't like painful, but it was definitely uncomfortable. So I just kind of rested and took it in and looked at everything and saw the different sites. It was so weird how all the houses were up on these high hills and they were so tiny and so close together. Like that was interesting. I couldn't imagine living that close to somebody in such close quarters. But there was probably a few other people on the bus. I can't remember how many people were on the bus at that time. So it was about a 30-minute drive, but the driver was really careful of not hitting bumps. He actually was driving pretty slow, and so that was cool and courteous. But we were definitely anxious to get to the beach house and get to see those sites and see the beach, and see where we were staying, and they were going to have some activities kind of lined up for us that day, and so we were eager to see what that was. And then, oh my gosh, y'all, I could have chicken broth that day. So I was excited about that because we were getting that pretty soon. And once we got to the beach house, they took our luggage and we walked in, and we had a quick meeting of how things were to go, and then we went to our rooms. So all in all, I had a pretty good experience. It was obviously, I can't really compare it to anything. I've never really had a major surgery besides having children. So I felt like the care was phenomenal. The staff was very attentive. The nurse, I never really even used my call light. She was just there when I needed her. The nurses were great. They gave me the meds that I needed, instructions, just always asking if I needed anything or if I wanted anything, if I was in pain, if I was uncomfortable. I didn't have to wait how here, when you're in a hospital and you push your light, you might see the nurse in a little bit. So that I was really impressed with, because when you're doing something new and in unfamiliar territory, you want to be comfortable. And I felt like they made it very comfortable. I never was scared. I was nervous, but I was obviously having a surgery and the plane ride, but I was never scared. I never felt like I wasn't in good hands. Like I said, I did my research. I've talked to people, that had done it, that had been there. So I never felt like the surgeons were incapable. I did a lot of research on the surgeons. I just prayed about it tremendously, and I just put it off to God that this is me changing my life, and I need help. And so whatever is done will be. And I just kind of left it at that. But I walked the beach, the next day for a while, and kind of reflected and was just overly grateful because, like I said before, my insurance didn't cover this. So for me to be able to have this surgery was a huge undertaking. Financially, it really wasn't that big a deal. But if I were to stay here in the States, I wouldn't have been able to have it. It would have really been a longer process than just, a few months. And so I was grateful for the opportunity to do it. I hope if, any of you have questions that you reach out to me, that you aren't scared to do something new. Because, I kept telling people, my mom would ask me, my stepdad, and there's different people would say, you're not scared to go over there and do that. And I said, I'm more scared of weighing what I weigh. I'm more scared of my blood pressure rising. I'm more scared of developing diabetes. I'm more scared of the fall that I had a few months ago where I broke my shoulder. Those things scared me. Not being here for my kids. I've already wasted 10 years of my daughter's life being overweight, and not to be the best I can be for them, that scares me. So I recommend, if this is the way that you need to go and you can't get it here, then try it. Because I had nothing but a great outcome. Now, I will say, once the plane ride home was rough. I had a long stay in the airport before my plane left because, they wanted to basically give you some time to get through Border Patrol. And unfortunately, I got through Border Patrol extremely fast. And so I had to wait some hours at the airport. That was rough. And then coming home that night was rough. And these last few days have been a challenge. I'm weak, but, I had major surgery. And then I got on a plane. So it's understandable. But I am making it each day. I hope to be back to work next week. And baby, when this weight come off, oh, just you wait.